good morning / afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our webinar about notes within the Clinked portal. So just a few things. If you have any question at any point, feel free to pop it in the chat box. We have a Q&A at the end of the session, and Olivia will answer any questions if you have them. So a quick introduction to the team. We have Hannah, who will be going through a live demonstration with you. We've got myself, and we've got Olivia behind the scenes. On our agenda today, we will be going through the different aspects of notes, including the types of notes, the settings, do a live demo, and working specifically into iframe functionality, as it can be quite confusing. And then finally, we'll finish off with a bit about our resources and the Q&A session. So just before we get started, I have a couple questions for you. A little pop-up box will appear. So first question is, what do you currently use notes for? So for sharing information, linking to other documents, infographics, data visualization, a welcome note, or company bulletins. Fill in as take as many as you like. Basically, these questions will just help us cater the webinar a little bit more, so I'll focus more on things if you're not attuned to using them. So it seems like linking to documents is the highest thing and infographics is the lowest. So I'll make sure to go through a little bit about infographics as well. The second question, so within Notes itself, do you use any of these features? So images, videos, documents, Dropform, iframes, media, and or tables? Great, so videos and iframes, perfect. We've got a big demonstration on that. So hopefully we'll answer any little questions you have, and of course we'll be going through the rest of them as well. So just a little overview about what notes are. So they are a powerful tool within Clinked that are an easy to use wiki platform that allows you to create text notes and other features such as the data visualization, working documents, filling out forms using Dropform, and embedding images and videos. Essentially, their purpose is to aid collaboration and have information readily available so that it's editable and can offer just a nice visual aspect to their client experience. So finally, you can just find them on the left-hand side along the designated tab, or if your group admin uses them on your homepage, you can find them there as well. So now Hannah will be taking over with the live demonstration, and we'll be going over all of the aspects I've just mentioned.
Yeah, so thanks so much, Abiella. So now I'm just going to talk you through some types of notes that we offer in Clinked. So if you're looking for any inspiration of what you can do with notes, hopefully that will help. So now I'm just going to take you into our demo account. So today we have a themed group that is a financial services group. So everything that we've created in this group is sort of based around the needs of a financial services client. And this is what we call the group homepage. And notes can play quite a key part in like building the group homepage. As you can see here, we've got sort of videos and images and things like that. And firstly, we've got this welcome note. So the welcome note is basically a place where you can introduce your clients to the group and outline the purpose and include like key resources and things like that. So when they first log in, this is what they will see when they first log in. So it's quite a nice space for you to just tailor their sort of digital client experience. And you can see here we've got some images, and we've also included like interactive links. So for instance, if I click onto this link here, for tax documents, it will take me directly to the actual note itself. So you can see there you've got a tax document, and your client wouldn't have to like click into the notes section or anything. It would just be straight from that link in the home page. And we've also got videos, so you can actually play a video directly from the group home as well. So if that's something you wanted to do, you need to create that as an iframe, but we'll be going through that a bit later on, step by step. And then you can see we've got a Google Sheet. So if you do want to import a Google Sheet into Clinked as a note, you can do that, and you can actually edit it directly from the portal. So that's quite nice, and it will update in real time in the Google Sheet and in Clinked as well. And then we've also just got a Tableau example for you there. So if you wanted to display a Tableau note, you could do that as well. And again, that will be interactive via an iframe. And as you can see, these are all notes we've created. But once you've created a note, this is where you can display them on the group homepage. And to do this, it's really simple. You just need to select this edit widgets function, and you can add a widget. And you can see you've got multiple things you can display. But today we're focusing on notes, so I'm just going to show you how to use a note in the group home. And then it will come up like this, and you'll just need to press configure, which is this right-hand button here. And then you can see it comes up with all the notes that you've got available, the ones that you've created in your notes section. So I'm just going to choose this article to display today. And you can see here I've got this role of the company secretary that's come up, and I'd like to put that here. But you can also use drag and drop to change it, so you can have it sort of wherever you would like on the page. But yeah, obviously we've just included loads of notes for you to see, but you might normally have like a mix of things. You could have like an announcement or like a task summary alongside your notes, but notes sort of make it quite visual and nice, so when your clients first log in. So yeah, now I'll just show you where to find notes. So yeah, as long as you've got it enabled, the notes tab will be here. So you can just click into that to access the notes section. And you can see here, it will just bring up a list of all your existing notes, including that welcome note that will always be there. And to create a new note, it's really simple. You just need to use this green new note button. And then you just need to make sure that you enter a note name for it to save. So I'm just going to call it note 4. And then you can also set a permission. So if you did want, say, all group members to see it, that's fine. But if you did only want one person to see it, you can actually set that up straight away when you're creating the note. And then obviously this is where you can enter text and add images and things like that. And this is basically your formatting bar. So you can like format the text and things like that. So you can do that here. And then if you ever need to create a table, you can do that here. And then you can also add a link. So you could say add a link to another note or a file or even an event. And if you wanted to like create a quick link to a URL, you could do that here just by pasting in the URL link. But I'll show you a live example of that just in a moment. And then yeah, obviously I showed you the videos and images, but if you ever wanted to create them, you can use embed media. Embed media is best for like videos and images. And then obviously you've got the Dropforms, and then embed iframe for iframes. But yeah, I'll just show you a few examples of those now. And also it's good to mention who can create notes. So you need to be a standard member at least to be able to create a note. So you need to be a standard, a group admin or a super admin to be able to create a note. And I'll just click into this link one now so I can show you if you want to create quick links. You can see I've just hyperlinked that using the note tab, and then if I click into it, it will take me directly to this article that I've linked. So yeah, if you ever want to do that, that's something you can do. We also have Google Data Studio, so if you ever want to integrate with that, that's something you can do. And it can be like altered live as well, so you can filter it and it will actually update directly from the portal. So if that's Google Data Studio, if that's something that your company uses, you might want to bring notes into Clinked via the iframe. And another integration that we have is Dropform. So Dropform is basically an integration that we have, which is an online form builder, and it's really easy to use. It's got a simple like drag and drop interface, and it's free to set up, so it won't be like an extra cost to you. You can create that for free, and it basically allows you to build forms so that your clients can fill out forms directly from Clinked. So I'll just click into this to show you an example. But yeah, it could be anything, but we've based this one on sort of like a general form. So if I was to fill this in, my information, I could do that directly from this form, and then I would just press submit, and it would submit my response. And what you can actually do is link the responses to a CSV file in the file section. So I'll just show you what that would look like. So you can see here we've got the CSV file, and when I click into that, it will show the responses that you've sent. Yeah, so you can see here, I've just that message where I said, here is my info, that has been logged into this CSV form to track. But yeah, to make sure, it's basically when you have this drop down, you can see the store Dropform submissions. But to make sure you have that option, you just need to set up Dropform from your personal settings. So you just need to go to your personal settings and make sure that the integration is on, and then you'll just need to get your API key from your Dropform account. But we do have like step-by-step instructions on our Help and Learning Centre about that one if you need to link it to a CSV file. But that's quite a nice, easy way to track your clients' responses and things like that. And yeah, I'll just show you some images and videos. Yeah, if you ever want to add, obviously you can add text, but you can also add images and videos as well. If that's something you wanted to do, you could have a nice note like that. And then you've also got this tab at the bottom, and it sort of applies to all our content. So it will apply to like files, events, they'll have the same tab at the bottom. But yeah, it also applies to notes. So you can say comment on a note, and if you were to say like mention someone, they would get a email notification pointing towards this note in particular. And you can also guest share the note. So if you a guest is basically anyone that's not a member of your Clinked account. So if you wanted to share this note with a person externally and you just wanted to see them to see this one note but nothing else in the portal, you could use guest share just to share this note with them with their email address. And then you've got the activity, so that's basically just the activity history of this note in particular. And then you've got content tags. So if you did want to say associate this with a tag like marketing, you could enter a tag, and then that would create the tag. So if you were to search for marketing in the search box, this note would come up as the search results. And then you can add like another attachment if you wanted for someone else to review. And then you've got your version history, so you can see all the different versions there. And then finally, we've got permissions. So if you did want to add a permission once a note had been created, you can see at the moment it's set so only Jake can see this note, so it's on individual members and then just Jake. But if you wanted everyone to see it, you would just switch it to group members and update that. So that's how you can set permissions on notes. And then this is an example that you probably saw on the homepage earlier, but that, again, this is like a Google Sheet integration, and it's like the numbers from the annual report and things like that. So if you have any stats that you use from Google Sheets, you can import them into Clinked. And again, it's just the iframe functionality. But with that, we're just going to talk you through step by step how to actually create an iframe. So I'm just going to now go back to the presentation.
So thanks, Hannah. So yes, the iframe functionality. Hannah's gone through the different types of notes, most of which are quite straightforward, but this can be a bit of a tricky one. So I'll just go through it a bit more. So setting it up, it's like setting up a standard note. You create a note, go to insert and embed iframe. So just where the arrow is now, at which point a pop-up will appear. And this essentially is where you put in the URL, any dimensions, but also it's a way to check what websites that your portal will allow. So YouTube, Dropform, these things are currently allowed, as you can see them on the list, but you have to set these up. I'll go into a little bit more explanation of this afterwards. But yeah, so once you do this, you can insert it, and there it is, perfect. You can either save it or preview it just to see what it looks like, and you can play it and it'll be interactive. So some other examples, Hannah's already gone through some of them, but so we've got Google Sheets, that's interactive. One thing I do want to note is that any permissions based on Google Sheets or anything from the Google Drive is from Google Drive. So someone who has the permission to edit it or view it only, that's only set through Google Drive and not through Clinked. So if you're having issues, that might be something to look into. We also have Tableau, so showing any graphs, Google Data Studio, and just some articles as well. So from a website that you may be tracking, or like COVID numbers, that's a good one because it is interactive and changes on as refreshes automatically. So going into the URL bit that I mentioned a bit earlier. So only a super admin will have access to this. So you may need to ask them to add it for you. But you will need to make sure the website you're trying to embed is currently in the database. So you can see here the little tabs. They are all websites that like the Budex account currently allows. So if you want to add anything onto this list, you will need a naked URL, which is essentially everything after the www dot. So removing that first bit, and then the main.co.uk or .co.com, and everything after that needs to be deleted as well. So as you can see in the examples, it's a bit straightforward, but sometimes the websites can be a bit fickle and don't want to work. So if this is the case, just submit a support ticket to us, and we'll try and help you in any way we can. Sometimes it doesn't work, and I do apologize in advance. So that is the main bit of our webinar. I have one more question. So now that you've learned about all these amazing things to do with Clinked, will you be using any of them? So yeah, on Zoom, just press anything that applies to you. Oh, fantastic. Jotforms and media. That's what we like to hear. Good to know. I hope you really make the most of these. They are a great feature. And yeah, if you have any more questions, we've also got a great resource center. So on the help section in our portal, as you can see on the right hand of the screen, there's a little help button. So if you just click that, it'll take you to our help and learning center. So for any resources on our website, we've got a bunch of articles, videos, and different features. We've also got our YouTube. So this will include any previous webinars or onboardings, just a bit of a refresher. And then, of course, there's support, where either Hannah or myself will be answering your questions. So just email us at support@clinked.com, and we'll be here to help. So now for the Q&A section. If you have any questions, pop them into the box, and we'll answer them for you. We'll give you a couple minutes to do that.
Yeah, thanks Abiela and Hannah for a great presentation there. Like Abiela just mentioned, now it's time to ask any questions you have. We have already had a few come in, but if you do want to ask any, you can pop them in the chat function on the right hand side, or you can also use the Q&A button, which is along the bottom part of the screen. So our first question is from Casey, who's asked, how do you create a Dropform before you upload it into a notes?
Yeah, so firstly, you'll just need to go to the Dropform website. So if you just literally Google Dropform, and then you'll just need to create a free account. It's really quick and easy to set up. And then you'll just need to create a form. And Dropform has lots of templates you can choose from, like literally hundreds. So whether it's like a uniform request or yeah, anything really, just a generic form or like a hotel booking. They've got a lot of templates there already, or you can sort of like customize it and build your own. But yeah, once you've created the form and you're happy with it on Dropform, then you can just go to the Publish tab and just copy the link, and that's the link that you'll need to put when you're embedding the iframe. So yeah, basically first step, just to create the form on Dropform, and then you just need to create the iframe on Clinked.
Perfect, thanks Hannah. We've also had a question from James, who has asked, is there a limit on the number of iframes or Dropforms that you can put into a single note?
So thanks, James. There is no limit. Of course, it can get quite messy if you have too many, but you can put as many as you like, or you can create separate ones to organize it a bit better, but it's completely up to you.
Great, thanks, Ariella. And we've also had another one from Joanna, who's asked which members can create notes in the Clinked platform?
Yep, so you need to be a standard member to be able to create a note. So if you're a basic member, you won't be able to. But yeah, as long as you're a standard or a group admin, you'll be fine to create a note.
Great, thank you. And just off the back of that, a similar one from Beatrix. She's asked, what kind of members can set up the approved websites for iframes?
So that's a super admin only. So if you have any issues, either contact them or we can help you out in any way.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ariella. So those are all the questions we've had come through today. If you do have any last questions, please send them through now. But if not, we are contactable from our resources section and from our email address. So please don't be afraid to let us know if you're having any problems or just want some tips on how best to use the platform. So I think we'll be wrapping it up there now. So thank you all for coming, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.